Yeah, hello, our listeners, our followers. Good to meet you here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Nice time, and those of you who have walked with us this journey, who have been with us all through. Maybe you have watched more than one episode from us. I want to believe that you've been blessed. You've been blessed. Last time we were talking about man was created to work, and this time I have something interesting for you. We are towards the festive season. We are towards Christmas. We have few days to Christmas, and I have this message for you, dear friends, that how does a Christian family prepare for the festive season? A Christian family in the festive season. How do we prepare for the festive season? How do we get there? How does it happen? Some of you have watched so many episodes from many other people, teaching about the festive season. Some of you have already built a legacy about this festive season. But I want to share with those maybe who are starters, who are starting, and maybe who have been just touching on this and the other. They're not very clear about how to get into the festive season as a Christian family. A Christian family, like Christmas, is our day, is our season. We are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. He is our Lord and Savior. He was born to save us, and we celebrate Him for being birthed in our lives, for giving us a new life, for giving us a new start, and giving us a hope for our lives. So, dear friends, how do we get there? You and I, we are married. We are in this marriage, and a Christian home, a Christian family. How do we jump into the festive season? First of all, what is the mind there? The mind there is that the first thing is that Christmas, it is about the birth of Jesus Christ in our lives. We are celebrating the salvation that we have in Christ. We are celebrating the one who died for us at the cross of Calvary, the one who came to save us from darkness, to save us from sin, and He has brought us light. So, dear friends, how do we prepare for the festive season? So now it comes, and I want to tell you, it's a holiday season also, it's a vacation season also. So we are talking about that, dear friends. Maybe to you, festive season may not come in, but maybe vacation may work in, or may come in for you. Maybe holiday may work for you. So people are planning outing. People are planning to go and check on the parents. People are planning to go and visit some relatives somewhere. People plan to go to take themselves out to go, take a holiday vacation somewhere. In our place, people telling you maybe they're planning to go to Dubai. Dubai has become another center for people to go and visit and enjoy themselves there. But I hope it is not the sunny season, because some people went there and they told me I wasted my money to go there. It is too sunny. The sunshine was too much. Walking on the streets there for fun was not nice. It was too much. We'd go for a short then we come back to our hotel. So I've not been following up well to know their season. But so dear friends, we are talking about that. The festive season has a lot of things. This is the points that I want to share with you, dear friends. One, I want to share with you that every time we are getting to the festive season, a festive season tests a lot of values, a lot of principles within our family. It tests what we are focused on. It tests, certain things that we have been looking forward for. The festive season also tests our legacy. What kind of legacy are we leaving behind? What kind of the strong beliefs do we hold about certain aspects of life? So a holiday, a festive season tests a lot of us. Companionship as a family. How do we cooperate with each other? How do we unite with each other? How do we work with each other? You remember in COVID the problem that happened, dear friends. People who were at distance marriage, maybe who were meeting on a weekend, maybe they were always coming home very late, and time came and they locked us out, or they locked us in our homes. And you're at our homes, for a month we are at our home, we are not even allowed to go to the neighbor. We are not even allowed to go to the neighbor. So lockdown was about, and it tested so many families badly. People fought, families were breaking, people were exchanging with each other, people were not matching with each other, people, they were like enemies against each other. So, dear friends, COVID tested most of that, in that area of unity, of cooperation, of being together. People are not used to being together, and the festive season is about that. The festive season is a time when that you've got to be as a family together. Is a time when you are coming closer to each other. Is a time when you are spending more time with each other. Is a time when you are concentrating more on each other. Is a time when you are working closely with each other, dear friends. And you want to see something that you can leave behind, even for the community, even for society, dear friends. You are building a journey. You are building, an infrastructure around you. You are building some way of life. You are showing your people your way of life, your family the way of life. This is how life should be. So, dear friends, the festive season, we need to prepare with that kind of focus, with that kind of mindset. That is a time that tests your cooperation as a family. You're working together, your closeness as a family. Because we have been so much apart with the worker dynamics, with the job dynamics, the works that we do, the business dynamics where we are, because we have been so much apart, each time we meet, if everyone is on their phone, is on their computer gadget, everyone is busy on their own, someone is on the TV, another one is on what, it's a family where like 10 members or even more, but each of them is on their own, and the cooperation, the unity, the socialization has died out. So I want to challenge you, dear friends, when we come in the festive season like this one, the Christmas that we are getting into, I want to challenge you and request you, dear friends, be intentional to build some values, to demonstrate some values, to demonstrate what you want to be, to demonstrate the kind of legacy you want your family to have. Some people will travel to the parents, but is the issue just traveling to the parents, or you are trying to build something in your family? Some people will travel to go and visit their relatives somewhere. Is an issue just going to visit your relatives somewhere, or you're trying to build something in your family? You're trying to show your children that, we live in a society of cooperation, socializing with each other. We ought to respect the elders. We ought to have time with the elders and listen to them. And, they hear from us, hear those stories of long ago, hear those stories in the community. Every time myself, I go to the village where I'm born from to meet my grandmother and my other people. Then there are so many stories about when we were growing up, so many stories about, the kind of environment we grew up in, the kind of stories around our village, how our village grew up, how this family connected with this one did not like this one, where they came from and where they are now. There are so many of those stories there. And for me, I am intentionally building, something for my family. Something for my family. You get time to connect also with another environment. You've been maybe in the environment in the city, maybe in some town somewhere, maybe in that rental somewhere, and finally you are at home, or your childhood home, or your parents' home, and you are there. Maybe the home you're connecting with the people at the village, and you are connecting with the people around you. It is a completely new environment. So one, we are trying to build a legacy of what kind of life we expect our family to have, but also what kind of family we are demonstrating to society. Dear friends, we do not live for our own alone, but we also live for society. What would we want to live in this society when we are no more? What shall we have left behind? We are all family heads. We are wives and husbands. We are family heads. And I want to challenge you that you want to be intentional on what legacy you are living for society, for your community, for the place where you are living in. What legacy are you living even for your church? Even for your church. Some of us are very intentional to demonstrate who is a believer in Jesus Christ, who is a true believer, who is a believer who believes in the Lord, who is a godly person. We are intentional at my place of work, at my home, wherever, whatever community, the investment clubs I'm in, the social groups I belong to, the networks I connect with, dear friends. I am intentional to demonstrate this is how a godly person should live their lives. I am intentional to demonstrate this is how a married godly husband looks like or is expected to be. I am intentional. I'm focused with that, and I believe with God it is possible to get it. So when we are in the festive season, when we are prepared for the festive season, we are so much intentional about the kind of legacy we are leaving behind, or we are building for community, for our families. We are intentional to show our children that this is the life we would expect you to do this life and even more. This is the basic minimum we expect from you. But also the kind of values that you want for your family, you want for your community. The festive season is a time where, a lot of values in your family, values like of generosity. How generous is your family, dear friends? So that value of generosity, that value of, how generous you are, how you care for community, it comes out very well. There are so many opportunities in the festive season of taking care of another family, taking care of another community, taking care of another social group, taking care of someone else within you, within your neighborhood, within your environment. So, dear friends, I want to challenge you that the festive season helps us to test those values of generosity, of cooperation, of caring for communities. The festive season should be a time when you think about others more than yourself. Others more than yourself. You're taking care of your community. You're taking care of the people around you. You get time, you take time off to think about how can I be of help to this community. As a matter of fact, I want to appreciate the interviewing board for corporate jobs, corporate jobs in our corporate world. Some of those interviewing committees, those people on the interview panel, sometimes they have gone ahead to ask such a question: is how have you been of a contribution to your community? What kind of contribution have you made to your community, to your society, to the place where you come from? What kind of contribution have you made there? What of value are you to your village, to your community, the people around you? So some interviewing panels, they have gone ahead to ask such a questions, and therefore me, I'm like, thank you so much. I give you a hands up. So thank you there so much, dear friends. So we are trying to talk about that. How of a contribution, of a legacy are you becoming to your family? Are you becoming to your contribution to your community? How a caring person are you to the environment around you? Which families have you touched their lives? Dear friends, we are here to touch the life of someone. And the man's fulfillment, you and I, our fulfillment is not having a lot of money, is not having, driving posh cars, is not, living in a posh estate or in a posh house, is not being, having posh everywhere around you. But friends, it is about touching lives around you, touching lives around you and me, touching lives in your community, in your society. We live in a broken community, we live in a broken society, and we are trying to come up and touch lives of someone. Touch lives of some people, touch life of someone, dear friends. So I want to challenge you, dear friends, in this festive season as we head there, think about how you can touch the life of someone around you. We have so many orphans on the streets and in our villages, dear friends, orphans. We have so many orphans who are struggling to meet the basic needs of life. We have widows who are in our communities and they are struggling to meet the needs of their of their lives, of their families. A widow is left with so many children, they even have grandchildren, and they are there struggling, dear friends. We have some families who are in a destitute condition. Families which are in a destitute condition. At one time where I grew up from, our house was leaking. And when it is a rainy season, when it rains, when you're in the garden, you have to send someone to run and, organize the house. Because you know where it is leaking. Some of you don't know that I came from there. So now you come to know, in a house, in a home where that is leaking. And maybe where it is leaking, it is on someone's bed. It is where someone sleeps, so you have to run and you make sure you change the things from this place to the other place, the other place, the other place. And I'm very proud now. I have a home. I'm very proud now. I'm a man who can take care of myself, of my family, and even of some other people. So, dear friends, I want to challenge us in the festive season. We have to think about such a families. We have to think about such a people. Have you started with your parents to think about them? Are they still living where they have to think, where it rains and they are so much worried that the rain is going to come into their bedroom? Are they living in such a places? If you are able and there's something you can do about that, that's the message I'm bringing to you, dear friends, that in the festive season, you need to take care of such a people, such a condition, dear friends. Help someone also celebrate the goodness of life, celebrate the goodness of the Lord in their lives, celebrate the creator of this universe. Help someone who have some hope. So the festive season, dear friends, is a time, and normally we will have some more income, some more cash. Some people save well for the festive season. Other people, for some reason, you have to look for money. You have to look for money, have some money. You may not have enough to travel everywhere, have enough to send everyone. But dear friends, I'm challenging you, saying that it is a season where you have some money. So think about taking care of someone. Think about uplifting someone. Think about giving a hope to someone else. Think about, bettering someone's life. Yes, bettering someone's life. That is what we're talking about in the festive season. Somehow there's some a little more money, a little more disposable money, a little more funds. Somehow we have struggled to have this and this. Please think about such a things. Next, dear friends, would you think about refreshing your mind, taking time off and you retreat? Would you always think about, in these festive seasons, to retreat as an individual, to retreat as a family, to retreat as a group, and, take yourselves out and have a fresh mind? Change the environment where you have grown up from, where you have been living in for the whole year. Now it is towards the end of the year and you are ending there, dear friend. Think about having that retreat. Yes, my children would love the best thing when you're taking them out to make sure there is a swimming. My children, you make sure where you are taking them out there's a swimming, and it also works for me because I love to look at water. I love to just watch water. I love to just watch nature. So if I take them where there is water, where they can swim, then I have sorted them. Make sure there's a pizza there. They like a pizza there. If there's a pizza there, make sure it is there. And when we go for us, we are not 2 hours, outing, 2 hours, in the swimming pool. It is not 2 hours or 3 hours. It's a full day. I have children who can be in the water from morning up to late evening. And they are not yet tired. Especially when they are going in the water, they come back to the play area with the play item, on the play item, the swings and others. Then they go back to the water. So something like that, dear friends. So I want to challenge you, friends and members who are listening to me, that yes, we need to have a time when we can refresh our minds. And give it to your family. Give it as a gift to your family. Make sure your family also finds that time when they can refresh themselves. Maybe you are going outside as a family. Hey, as a family, sometimes we go in the villages. I've been there, and it is from home to home, home to home, home to home, from one function to another function, one function to another function. So the whole of December is from a function to another function, a function to another function. Dear friends, I want to challenge you. Also plan for the time to have as a family. If it is possible that you can be outside your home, I love it so much. It would work for you to refresh. You need to start a year when you are refreshed, when you are stronger, when you are energized. You need to start a year when you have a fresh mind. You need to start a year when you have better focus. You need to start a year when you have forgotten about the past and you are focused on the new things that are coming. The word of God tells us, forget about the former things, the new things have come. So a festive season is a bridging time, especially this one of the end of the year. It bridges between the ending of the year and as we cross to the next year. Next year, dear friends. So you need to, find the time, to refocus, find time to refresh yourself, find the time to energize yourself. Life can stress you. Life can beat you from the feet to the head. Maybe in this year you have lost businesses. Maybe this year you have lost a job. Maybe this year you have been demoted. Maybe your salary has been cut down. Maybe you have changed from one organization to another, and where you've gone, maybe it is not the best place. But I want to challenge you, dear friends. We need to end the year when we have a fresh mind. That crossover, we need to refresh ourselves, have fun for yourself. You need to find time when you can have fun for yourself, dear friends. Watch that movie that you have taken very long without watching, maybe. Have that fun with your children. You've always been in suits and ties and coats like me, Monday to Friday, and the festive season, maybe you're having a full week. A full week when you take yourself, when you can go and enjoy yourself, dear friends, when you are doing more about this festive season. Not just about eating and drinking, not just about being there, not just about seeing the day come, the season come and it goes out, dear friends, not just about being at home, but you're doing enough to make sure you refresh yourself. And that's why we save. When we are saving some money, when we are saving some funds, dear friends, we are saving such that, when we come into this festive season, we have some time for fun. We can spend on fun. Fun is not cheap also. We can spend on having fun. We can spend on having time to relax. We can spend on having time to refresh our minds. I want to challenge you, dear friends. Doing it as an individual is very good. But now that we are married, doing it as a couple is very good. But doing it as a family is also much more. So you can also do it in those phases. You can find when you are refreshing yourself as an individual, you're refreshing yourself as a couple. Maybe you've taken yourselves as a couple outside, but you need to also find some time when you are refreshing yourselves as a family. Even your family, they break down. Our children have been in school and they get tired by the end of the year, the third term. They are so tired, or the end of the semester that ends the year, they are too tired and life is not making any sense. It's not making any sense. So the Christmas season or the festive season, dear friend, have that fun, have that fun. They talk about the Boxing Day. Can you go somewhere and watch it? Maybe some film places. Can you go and be part of that? Some kids play area somewhere. They have organized some fun time. Can you go and be there? So somewhere. Some of you are able to even go to the park and, visit some parks and spend there some days or some nights. It is so wonderful. Maybe you have a camp where people can go. Something like that. That's what we are talking about, dear friends. So we are talking about for legacy. We are talking about, having time to refresh yourselves. We are talking about time to care for our communities, to become of a contribution to the communities, to make a contribution to some family, to some other people, and help them to connect with our relatives and our larger family, dear friends. We can't just build a family like that. You don't build your family alone. Those of you who stay in gated communities, when it comes a festive season, find time to move out of your gated community. Find time to go in the open communities where there are no gates at all, where there are no wall fences at all. When the festive season comes, find the time where you can go and spend a week in communities where there are no fences. And I want to believe most of our villages, we have some villages where there are still so many there, where you can be there, where there are no fences, there are no wall fences, there are no, cameras wherever you are going. And if you don't have any place, go to the national parks, there will not be wall fences there. So most of them, they will not have wall fences. Go and have fun there, go and spend time there, dear friends. So I'm talking about, festive season. A Christian family. It is all about God who saved us, God who sent his son to save us. But I want to challenge you, dear friends, that we need to find that time. Make sure it is an organized festive season. I'm trying to say that we need to be organized. We don't just fall in and come out. We don't just take holiday and then we go back at work later. No, we are just intentional to make sure what values we are building, to make sure what direction we are showing our family, to make sure, what direction are we showing our society. We are committed to that. We are committed to that, dear friends. I am trying deliberately to explain this principle, this concept, such that I wish it can go to the second generation, the fourth and the fifth generation down there. The people are intentional how they use their festive season. How they use their festive season to make sure it is productive. It is productive. Those of you who make more money during the festive season, maybe I used to be in a job, as a matter of fact, where I used to work even on 24th. On 24th, I used to be on a job for years. On 24th, I am in the bank paying some people, sending some people payments. See, send here, send here, send here, send here. 24th, from morning up to evening, I used to reach home, past 10, at 10 p.m. I knew which banks closed very late in the city, which banks were closing very late, which ones, I can relax. So things like that you're working up to 24th. If you work in a financial institution, I know most of them will give you 24th, you close at midday, then you or at 1 or at 2, then you go 25th, then 27th, they want you at work. So sometimes it's a jargon, it's a jargon, dear friends. But I want to challenge you, whatever kind of work you are doing, whatever level you are at. We even have stay-home moms. They need a holiday, they need a vacation, they need to be off their homes. They get so tired with their homes. They're at their homes Monday to Monday, morning to evening. They are there, they're doing this and this. They're trying to organize their homes. They're trying to be of help to their homes. But dear friends, it can be so frustrating. It can be so demotivating. These are people you hear, they are staying together, but have not even had sex for the last how many months? For how many weeks? They're just there. They are retired generals. So take the festive season to break the boredom, to break the resignation mode. You are in a place, but people are in the resignation mode. The wife and the husband are in resignation mode. The communication is so low, it's so down. The interaction is so low. They are not communicating, they are not interacting. They have given up on each other. And dear friends, I want to challenge you that the festive season should help us to connect again, should help us to talk to each other again, should help us to be motivated again. Plan ways you can be refreshed more. Dear men, plan ways you can be more at home. You can be more with your family. You can be more involved and engaged. You can remember the cobwebs in the house. They are always talking about men, who cannot even remove the cobwebs in the house. This is the time when you can find the time to know there are breakages in my house. The plumbing broke down. No, the electricity wiring has issues. I have things to repair here and there. My chairs need repair. This one needs a repair. So as you're trying to start new projects, maybe some of you in the festive season is when you are able to even do new projects. But I want to challenge you, dear friends. It can also be a time to make sure you work at your home. You have more time for your home. You have more time for your family. Your members are having more time with you. Having more time with you. So that's the festive season, dear friends. Don't just travel very costly, traveling from one region to another, from one area to another at a very high price, yet the contribution, the planning is not there. The organization is not well done. I want to challenge you, dear friends. Let us make sure that we are more organized, we are more corporate, we are more engaged, and life is moving very well. Yes, life is moving very well. Don't waste your festive season. Let it not just pass. Let it not just come and go. Let it not just pass, dear friends. I'm trying to say that we need to make sure that everyone is brought on board. We need to make sure that everyone is involved, they are reflected, the legacy is built, the right values are put in place, and we are connecting with our people, we are socializing with our people, and life is making more meaning. We are making a contribution to someone we were not able to make a contribution to during the year. And now we are able to make that contribution, dear friends. And all this, as we are meditating, you have to know the reason of the season. Every season, you need to know the main reason. The main reason is to get time like this one to reflect on God who saved us, to reflect on the salvation we have in Jesus Christ the Lord, to reflect on all God has been so good to me. It is actually also a season for thanksgiving. Yes, like this very festive season, dear friends, it is a season for thanksgiving. You need to think about how you can be more thankful to God. More thankful to God. He created you. He has taken you through the year. Many people have passed away, and for you are here. Maybe you are hospitalized, and God has saved you. He healed you. Maybe you went through an accident. Maybe you lost your business, your job. You lost this and the other. It is a time to come to God with an offertory, with an offering, and you are thankful to God. You're generous to God. You are saying, oh God, I am thankful to you. Yes, make it a Thanksgiving time. Make it a Thanksgiving time, dear friend, this whole festive season. Find some time to make meaning out of it. Let it not just come and go. Men, build a legacy for your families. Dear wives, build a legacy for your families. Build how should life move in your family. What is expected and what is not expected. What should we expect and what we should not expect. We should be more concerned about that. Our children should be more concerned about that. And make sure it is not a time to just send away children. They are just all over the community, all over the society. Now the children are back for holidays. You find them every corner. Every town is full of younger people. Every road and the street is full of younger people. Of course, some of them dressed nakedly without any program. That is not the purpose of the festive season. The festive season is there, dear friends, to bring us fulfillment, to bring us value, to bring us courage, to bring us more planning and purpose in this life. It is a time to make sure that our purpose is fully driven. Thank you so much. Nice time. I love you all. Until next time, dear friends, when we meet again. Bye-bye.